Whenever I think about Austin Gray, I don't think of like the social butterfly.
My senior picture, like we had senior pictures we needed to give to the church. I wasn't wearing any pants in the picture.
I want to make it to where I'm going to start saying even more inappropriate stuff, so he just edits in bang honeys over whatever I have to say. There goes our British audience.
All right, welcome to the Tomato Flame Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Colton Davidson, and I'm joined by our other host.
Other host, that's me, Austin Gray.
And this week we have the amazing,
lovely
Corey Widener.
And Miguel Dooley.
Kylan White.
Yeah, Kylan is kind of our ghost in the room. He's just he's kind of here. I guess he's gonna fangirl with us all about what Austin went through at RTX.
Well, he does know some of his Rooster Teeth stats. It's just he's not like super fans like the rest of us here.
Well, just like the rest of us know, Gus is black. First of all, thing.
That's the thing. That's what you know about. It's the first thing you learn about.
But let me go ahead and set the stage. There's a production company called Rooster Teeth, and they have a YouTube channel. They're mostly known for Red vs. Blue, am I right?
Yeah, they're animated, or they're machinimated series, I guess.
Yeah. They use this video game basically to do all the work for them.
It's Halo, the entire series.
Yeah. But there's that, and they do a lot of different things with it, and every year they hold an event called RTX, and you can come meet all the people that do the production, meet the people that you listen to on their podcasts, meet everybody. I think the Game Grumps were there.
Game Grumps, the Creatures,
Screw Attack.
Mega 64.
Mega 64 was
Ray
there.
Narvez Jr. was there, the Brown Man himself.
And our boy Austin was lucky enough to go there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I planned it out. I wasn't like lucky.
It's true.
I did plan out this event, way in advance. It was the most in advance thing I did like ever in my life, and it was only like 6 months. And probably like every year, my mom, she plans a summer vacation like more than 6 months in advance, but.
She's got the next 10 years.
To put it into perspective...
Yeah. Honestly, she probably does have the next 10 years planned out in detail.
To put it into perspective, Austin started planning 6 months ago. I applied for student loans yesterday. I start school next week, so...
Nice.
That, and we started planning this podcast like less than 24 hours ago. So we had no idea it was going to be on this week. And I didn't know, Miguel, you were even interested in RTX, in any of that, until I saw that you started retweeting all of Austin's selfies he took.
I told you before, Colton.
You might have.
The trail of how I knew Rooster Teeth, I think it was Jacob Rosebrook told you, Miguel.
Well, Jacob Rosebrook and I were basically independently discovered.
Independently discovered. And then you told Corey, right?
Yes.
Corey told my brother told me, right?
Yes.
Is that how it went? So I was way down the line, actually.
And then Austin told me.
And then I told Colton and my friend Michael, and they're big fans now as well. And so I was actually quite down the line, and I think I was the first one out of all those people to go. But we're kind of lucky compared to the rest of the world because we're pretty close to Austin, Texas. Compared to like, I was in a hostel with like 6 other dudes and a girl.
Really?
Yeah, there was a girl in my room, which wasn't really weird because she never...
had manly features.
Half of them were Irish. And from New Zealand, and
wow.
So they were out drinking the whole night, and I just went to bed. And but anyways, there was a guy from New Zealand that was going to RTX, and he was in my room, and so.
Well, only one of those guys was going to RTX. The other guys were just Irish guys. Or?
There's like 3 Irish guys. They were friends, and they just they were just traveling the world.
Are you sure you weren't sleeping in an Irish pub? Like, were you?
No. It was called Drifter Jack's Hostel. Shout out to them. And it was an American guy that was a guardian for RTX, and then there was a New Zealand guy that was going to RTX, and then his sister was from New Zealand. She was out drinking the whole night, I guess. And then there's 3 Irish dudes. Or 2 Irish dudes, maybe. Whatever equals 6. And they were just exploring the what they told me.
It does sound like the beginning of a bad joke, though. Like, all right, 2 Irish guys, 1 guardian, and this Asian lady walk into a bar.
Well, what happened to where the Asian lady?
Then a
come
white
from?
boy from Mustang,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
I just
Yeah.
happened to forget where she was from. So.
Yeah.
she
She was the New Zealand guy's brother. But yeah, there was so much awesome stuff that they did when I went to RTX. Like first thing I landed, I had a signing planned for you get 1 signing. That's what they've done different this year.
Interesting.
And I need more Spirit Bloom.
It was like try to cut down lines.
Yeah,
and
they're
stuff.
trying to cut down lines because a lot of people couldn't get it. But my signing was for Gus and Ray.
A good
And
signing.
so before it started, there was I saw Bernie. I ran to Bernie, who's the founder of Rooster Teeth, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, how did this happen?" I thought I would never find Bernie, but I ran into him, took a picture with him, and then it started at 12. Went and did my signing, and I went to a bunch of panels. It was really fun, but in the convention hall, what I want to talk about first is in the convention hall they had a bunch of different games, and one of the big ones was Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, yeah, you
game.
got to play that.
Well, here's the thing. So, they had like huge line for it. It's always filled up, and it was like a 2-hour line all the time. And in my bag that they give you closed beta access.
Oh.
So I have closed beta access to it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna wait in line. Why would you do that? I'm gonna play it in the cover of my home, and that's what I would be playing today if I had read that they'll contact you when the beta starts. So I don't get to play it yet, but I do get a closed beta access. So I probably should have waited in line because there was times where in between panels I had a few hours, so I could have waited and played it, but I didn't want to wait in line because that's pretty much what RTX is. You see what you want, but you gotta wait in line like 2 hours in advance before all of it. So I didn't get to play that, which was disappointing, but I will get to play it soon. It looks really good because I watched on Center Stage Achievement Hunter and Funhouse play each other.
Who won that?
Achievement Hunter. Achievement Hunter won 2 of the 3 games.
Actually, really impressive.
Well, here's the thing. Funhouse, they like to play with the keyboard and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Achievement Hunter plays with the Xbox controllers, obviously. And so they let Funhouse play with the keyboard and Achievement Hunter play with the controllers. I think that's probably what gave them an advantage, even though Funhouse always plays with the keyboard. I don't know. But that's what they were doing, and it looks really good. Like I was a fan of their playthroughs of Rainbow Six
2?
Vegas.
Yeah.
2 and 1. They played 1 after 2, which was weird. But I was a fan of that, and so that was one thing that I really wanted to watch, and it looks really good. It does.
Rainbow Six is for sure one of those games I'm super excited for. The other one is like...
There's so many I'm excited for. There's so many games coming out. Like, obviously Halo, the Taken King expansion for Destiny, Gears of War.
Tom Clancy's
Rainbow
something. Is it like Syndicate or something like that? It looks amazing. It's like a spy roaming free world.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'll look it up.
That looks amazing too. Do we have a link dump?
No.
See, we don't know how to... We're very amateur when it comes to this, so we don't know how to set up all that
We'll
stuff.
put it in the link dump.
All right.
I just did the air quotes.
Yeah, I've been looking for a place to store my nude photos. So
Oh my gosh.
The link
Not
up
in
is
our
Google
link
search bar,
You,
right?
you cannot store your nude photos in our linked up, okay?
another thing
Even
is,
if we had one that existed.
so I've been planning questions to ask Austin about RTX, but I thought maybe I should try and plan some other stuff too. And so I wore Winnie the Pooh shoes because I haven't been able to match them with anything under the sun. And then I took my shoes off immediately, and so now they have no point to talk about in the podcast. I feel like I should bring them up.
Oh, you didn't bring any You had Winnie the Pooh shoes?
Yeah, they're over there. They're the bomb. I pointed
That's
behind
weird.
me.
I gotta check this out.
Hey, the Rainbow Six is Tom Clancy's game.
All right, that's one of them, but he's making another one too.
He's
The
made a
Division?
lot of
Division, that's what it is.
Well, I mean, he's dead, but I
Poor
mean,
Tom Clancy.
oh yeah, Bruce. Like on Center Stage, they all put their names. Like Achievement Hunter had all their names up, like Jeff, Gavin, Michael, blah blah blah, and then all the Funhouse guys picked random names, and I think either Bruce's or James's name was Tom Clancy Rip. I was like, wow.
Oh man.
They always they always push the boundaries.
They feel like real life Twitch chat.
Yeah.
It was but yeah, there's so many things to talk about. Like I went to Achievement Hunter panel, Funhouse panel. I went to like broadcasting panel for On the Spot, and then they talked about these new shows that they're doing. They're doing one called Sports Ball.
Ooh.
And they're gonna talk about sports. And it's gonna,
Yes.
of course, they're gonna have Jack on there. I don't know how many times he's gonna talk about coaching changes or whatnot.
Or the cheerleaders for whatever team they are. The creepiest 40-year-old dude ever.
Yeah, he's only. You know what's weird? He's only like 5 years older than Michael.
Really?
He's like 32 and Michael's like 27.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird to think about that because Jack's like an old man in my brain.
I know.
But,
Jack's the kind of guy I would be afraid to have my kids around.
Yeah.
I don't have kids,
He's
to
creepy.
clarify.
You'd be more scared about Jack being around your kids or Ryan being around your kids?
Ryan's the bomb. I'm totally okay with Ryan being around my kids.
It's the creepy guy's all for show. It's not real.
Yeah. I mean,
He's not really a creepy guy. I wish I saw. I really didn't get to see the Achievement Hunters like while walking around because they were super busy. And there's a few people I wanted to see, but at that event, like there's more than 10,000 people. I know that for sure because they had it across 3 locations, and for the first year, that's how busy it was. And so, like, if you want to see somebody in particular, you have to get a signing with them. That's why I got one with Ray and Gus. But
Did Ray what did Ray say about your hat?
he didn't. Weird thing, he didn't say anything about my hat.
It's probably just the usual, right?
Yeah, he probably gets stuff like that like every day.
to clarify, Austin's hat is it's a black hat festooned with like red, green, and yellow cannabis leaves, and it says 420 on it.
Yeah, and
I assume that's
Ray's
a time.
Ray's a big 420 guy, and so when Colton got that for me, I'm like, I'm totally getting ready to sign this. But he's probably seen stuff like that before, so he didn't say anything. And there's a lot of people waiting, so I didn't keep him long. But before my signing, I ran into Bernie, and I got a picture with him, and he commented on my 420 hat, which I thought was weird, because I was expecting the comment from
What did he
Brent.
say about it?
Oh, I had it on backwards. I took the picture with him, and then I left, and he's like, "Sweet 420 hat." I'm like, "Thanks." I didn't say much because I was like super nervous about everything.
You should have seen me whenever Misha texted us the picture of you with Bernie. I was like, "I'm behind you."
Yeah, she told me you were totally freaking out. That was me too. I was fangirling hard.
Did you see Gavin?
I never saw Gavin. I think he's mentioned on a podcast he doesn't do good in crowds and that he does his hiding. He tries to hide where nobody could see him. So I wasn't really expecting to see him. I was hoping to see Barbara because I'm in love with Barbara. She's the best. But I never saw her. Probably she's super busy as well. But
All right, Austin, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Whenever I think about Austin Gray, I don't think of like the social butterfly. All right, so
okay.
You're
correct. By the way.
a huge building with like 10,000 people in it. Did you talk to anybody that was not yourself?
Okay. Okay. I did, and that was when people talk to me, and of course it's rude to not talk back. I've been told that.
You've tried it?
I've been taught that. So I was talking to people in line. I mean, if they wouldn't have approached me, I would have stayed silent, obviously. But I talked back to them, and like, what's really cool about that is, in Mustang, Oklahoma, you don't know very many people that are huge fans of Rooster Teeth,
Or even very many cool people.
But
Besides the people outside of Richmond.
Yeah.
but there, everybody's as big of a fan as you are, which is crazy.
Interesting.
And something that creeped me out, people cosplay, and that's fine. I'm like, that's cool. You can cosplay. I think it's cool. I'm not really one to cosplay. It goes back to the whole not being a social butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird thing was people having Ruby cosplays as girls, and they're guys. And
Interesting.
there's one guy in the Achievement Hunter panel. He goes up to ask a question, and he's like, "It was like a crossover." Do you guys know Ruby? Like,
Yes.
Do you know the?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have watched Ruby. I assume you have, but thought I'd ask.
Even
But this
I
guy
watched.
had like, it was a cross. It was a cross between. between Ruby Rose,
All right.
with, like the Sith. She had the Sith, her weapon, and then he just had a pink wig, and you can clearly see where he his shave. He forgot to shave the night before, so it makes it extra creepier. But he's like, he walks up, asks a question, like everybody's. I could feel everybody staring at him, and like you could hear people chuckle. I'm like, this is really weird. Like one thing to cosplay, another thing to cosplay as a girl when you're a guy.
And then combine two unrelated characters.
Yeah, he had like the pink wig, pink shoulder length wig, and then like some Ruby costume, and then Ruby Rose's scythe, which I thought was weird, but it was.
I imagine that he's the kind of guy who walks up to the front of the panel and it's like, how do you guys feel about marriage equality?
Maybe, but he had like the nerdy voice. He was like, he like had the typical nerd voice. He's like, so what do you guys have planned for the next year? Blah blah blah. I'm like, what a nerd. But then I couldn't really say that because I was at the event too, full of all the nerds.
All right. So had you asked a question though, Austin, what would you have asked?
Okay, I didn't ask a question. What would I ask?
Yes.
Okay, the only time I really wanted to ask a question was at the Laser Team panel that I went to.
Which is their movie that's going to be coming out this winter.
Yes, super excited for it. I'm so excited for that movie. But I would have asked the typical, the one that you were wondering, when's it coming out?
Yes.
And is it going to be a theatrical release? And they couldn't say on either of those. All they could say was it's coming out this winter. And so that's the one I would have asked. And I don't know. I don't really have any questions. I was just there to see them in person and enjoy myself.
All right.
And that's definitely what I did.
To put it into perspective, I probably watch. Okay, this is for sure. I watch more Rooster Teeth content than I do like the culmination of Netflix, television, and like music. I watch so much of it.
Same.
So that's like how like crazy it was that Austin saw all of these people. Like I was literally
you need to go next year. Me and Colton are going next year. You need to go.
I will go next year.
Sweet.
We might be even flying down.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take my.
Colton might be flying his plane down.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
I really want to be in your plane sometime.
I think it's so broken right now.
Well, that's a euphemism for something anyways, Colton. So
it's better to know before you take off than after you take off. Oh, it's broken now. Crap.
Wait, what'd you do to break your plane?
I didn't do anything. It was just one of the cylinder heads on the engine was cracked.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't anything that I did to it.
Yeah.
So they just found it when they're doing an annual on it. Like every year they have to do a check. And they found it, so that it's been down for like a couple weeks now. So I haven't flown in like almost a month.
Can you feel like it?
Are you having withdrawals from not flying?
Not really, because I've been so busy getting stuff ready for going back to OSU and
Ohio State.
Oklahoma State. You make that joke every time. It's not funny.
That's why it's funny, because I make the joke every time. People can count on that
You
joke.
gotta switch it up one time. Like
No,
Oregon
it's
State.
still not funny every time I hear you say it.
Get out.
By the way,
Get out of
Miguel,
my
I had to look up what festoon meant. I googled it and it's very impressive.
It's similar to the word adorned.
I don't know what it means. What does it mean?
It's like the word adorned, or it's also like
I don't
the
know what
word
adorned means. What does that mean?
covered with.
I actually
Covered with.
I checked to make sure that Gus wasn't black because I was pretty sure that he was black.
Yeah, Gus is Mexican.
Yeah, Gus is
I'm like-
hardcore Mexican.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought I remembered this guy was white. How did I get this wrong too? But yeah.
Yeah, he's not even white. Mexican.
But
So Miguel,
Yeah.
all right, I kind of like to hear what was the first video from Rooster Teeth that you watched.
All right. Okay. This is tough. I've got to go back into my memory databanks real quick. All right. Let's see.
I'm going to follow you up on that story after you're done.
All right. Actually, would you mind like going right now so I can think about it real quick?
You think about it. Okay, first Rooster Teeth video I watched was I was at Corey's house, and I walk upstairs into his room, and him and Evan are watching a video, and it was an Achievement Hunter video, and it was things to do in Minecraft Warlords, and I was like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's these guys who do a bunch of videos on the internet. I was like, that seems really stupid. You're watching people play video games. And little did I know, I'd become a huge fan of them. But, oh, don't kill me. But I watched that video. I was like, okay, that's cool. And I think I didn't watch a video for a while until my brother was talking to me about Red vs. Blue. I was like, okay, that actually sounds kind of funny. And he was talking to me about like these. It's like they make this show with Halo guys in the Halo video game, and it has a bunch of Rooster Teeth people in it, and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, and I checked that out. And so I pretty much started watching Red vs. Blue and Achievement Hunter at the same time. And then later I got into the podcasts. And then after that, I started watching everything.
Good stuff, yeah.
I started watching everything.
What about you, Corey?
Okay, so this is really strange how I got into it. Because Miguel was at my house. And he was starting to watch some Achievement Hunter Let's Play. He's like, I'm like, what's that? And he kind of told me about it. He watched about like 5 minutes of video and then went to bed. And so like...
So he didn't even try to get you hooked into it.
Hey, it's my crack, dude. Step
No,
off.
listen to this.
Hey, man, I'm glad you shared your crack with Corey, so Corey
He told me he liked it. And I'm like, okay. So I looked up, and I started getting into Achievement Hunter, because he also told me about Red vs. Blue. So I watched Red vs. Blue. I think it was probably about a week till I saw him next time. I watched like 7 seasons of Red vs. Blue, and I watched like all their Minecraft Let's Plays. And I went to talk to him about it, and he goes, I've never watched Red vs. Blue or Minecraft, or any of the Achievement Hunters. He told me he knew about Rooster Teeth, but he didn't watch any of their videos or any of their stuff that I went into.
I was like 13 years old.
But he was like, here's
Wait,
Achievement
you guys
Hunter.
knew about it that long before you told me about it?
Yeah, it takes a long time to make a baby, Austin. It really does.
Okay, it was.
I am envious that you guys didn't, because if you knew about it when you were 13, I could have known about it when I was 15. I could have been a fan for a long
I
time.
don't think it was. You weren't.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, the thing is, I saw the first season of Red vs. Blue, and I never watched any more of it, because, like, alright, so I watched Red vs. Blue. One of the first things I saw was, like just regular Rooster Teeth, though, was their shorts. So, like the season 2 of the shorts of the first season. They're hilarious, yeah. My favorite short of all time is called Sex Dogs. It's hilarious.
What's that one again?
It's like, it's hilarious. So Matt goes to Chris, who took a face shot, not a selfie, but like a professional portrait
Yeah.
for Bernie.
Or
Yeah, it's of Bernie
Oh,
for
yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, Chris, there's something wrong with the background.
Because they put the dogs in the picture, right?
Yeah, there's dogs
that's
having
a hilarious
sex
short.
I've seen
in
that one.
the photo frame, and so that's what I'm doing for my senior photos.
Sex dogs?
Yeah, it's gonna be really funny. To clarify, I graduated last year.
still haven't taken.
Yeah, still haven't taken those
Kind
photos.
of took senior photos.
Wait, so
Our
what's the
family
point
did
of
it.
taking them now?
Well, I mean, I'm.
There's no point.
There's no point.
I only took them because my mom was like, take your photos.
Well, I've got a few funny ideas for photos,
Dude,
so
my
I'll only
senior-
show one.
My senior picture, like we had senior pictures we needed to give to the church. I wasn't wearing any pants in the picture. You don't know though. I'm totally not wearing pants. But
It's just his upper body.
No one knows. So
It's funny though that
Well, no.
Now a lot of people are gonna know.
in
No.
that photo they captured more of Corey than they could have possibly captured. That is his essence in that picture.
All right, what about you,
Yes, that's
Colin? What
cool.
was your first Rooster Teeth Achievement Hunter video?
I mean, probably the first thing related to that I saw was like slow-mo guys.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually saw the balloon one before I even knew about them, so
Like 70 million people have seen them. So the odds of
so many
seeing,
people
yeah.
have seen that. It's amazing.
So
Can I tell how my first video?
yeah, absolutely.
That's
Go
what
for
I
it,
want
go
to
for
tell.
Yeah.
My first video.
Oh, you were doing that question? No,
Yeah.
Colton.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to watch.
didn't want you to
Austin was over at my house and he's like, "Hey, we want to watch this really funny video," and it was the CTT.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, we watched CTT, and I was like, "This is okay," and then I got into it and really liked it.
Yeah. I really wanted all my friends to be fans because I wanted to share it with them. And Colton rejected it at first. And
Colton.
Colby rejected it at first, and he watches every GTA video now. He doesn't watch anything else. But and Michael, I think, rejected it at first. Like everybody, all my friends did, and I was sad. I was like, nobody wants to share these awesome people with me. And the one that got Colby into the GTA videos was the things to do in GTA. It was the Christmas one of last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember.
Where they were throwing like C4 into the chimneys, or
It was, no, it was the
That
things
was
to do.
hilarious.
It was the things to do, and it was they were all dressed up as snowmen, like evil snowmen.
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get the coke to the checkpoint. and that was a hilarious video. But yeah, I had shared it with all my friends and
Do you guys have a favorite
all my
video?
5 friends. That is so. Let's Play Skate 3. That's my favorite.
That
Really?
was really funny.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's kind of older one.
hilarious.
It's I've watched that one probably. I've watched it over 10 times. Like, cause whenever I'm like just bored and I'm like, I want to watch a funny video, I go to Skate 3. It is the funniest video I know of Achievement Hunter. That's just me though.
I constantly rewatch the GTA heist videos. Those are absolutely
The
hilarious.
heists are really good. I've watched those a few times as well.
The Grand Heist where Gavin is flying the
Titan
and then crashes it.
And then they're all
so...
silent. It's amazing. Yeah.
Do our listeners know what GTA is?
Grand Theft Auto.
Not
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it's a sandbox game where you bang honeys and steal coke. That's
Pretty much.
Can we cut that out? Is that a possibility?
I can cut that out if you want.
All right.
Please don't.
Might be a little offensive to some of our viewers. We
Does,
claim to be a PG podcast, so
Well, they say bang in Looney Tunes.
bang bang.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what we mean by bang bang. You shoot honeys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That happens too.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you do shoot them.
You can't.
Well, now you guys have talked about it so much, they're definitely not cutting it out.
Let's just keep like talking
It's
about
just,
it.
it's
So
just,
harder and
just
harder.
a giant bleep.
Yeah.
Like a 10-second or 30-second bleep in the podcast.
Should I just leave the podcast right now? It's like, yeah, Miguel's saying too many things like that. We had to let him
You're
go.
good, you're good, Miguel.
Or if it bleeps every time you say bang honeys, everybody's gonna get the point where
Referencing
stuff
this?
is going on.
What?
It's either gonna, if we keep referencing this, it's either gonna stay in or Colton's gonna stay up all night and not make it to his college.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a 10-minute podcast.
I want to make it to where I'm gonna start saying even more inappropriate stuff, so he just edits in bang honeys over whatever I have to say.
Oh my gosh.
I'm expecting an auto-tuned intro of this. By the way.
Bang honeys.
I don't know if it'll happen tonight because I'm still getting stuff moved in. I'll be moving in all day tomorrow.
Colton, you're like the biggest complainer ever.
I actually bet that our listeners would like to know how you edit this, Colton.
How I edit this?
How do you edit this?
I sit the laptop on my lap much like it is right now.
All right.
Put these headphones on. I lean back. I start listening to it, and then when I get to a part that Austin said something he doesn't want me to believe in, or if you say something,
Or if we're transitioning.
or if you're transitioning, I cut it out.
Most of the time.
But most of the time, I'm sitting there on my phone just listening to it. And then,
I'm gonna turn the fan on because it's getting hot.
I know it's getting a little bit toasty. I was too embarrassed to say anything.
Oh yeah, I also bought this sweet. I'm not next to the mic.
we can still hear you.
Yeah.
I bought this sweet shirt. I bought a few shirts. I bought a Funhouse shirt.
What's your shirt say?
This
Oh,
is-
yes.
This shirt I really wanted. It was sold out like pretty much all the time in the Rooster Teeth store, and so I couldn't get it. But I saw it there, and I was like, I'm getting this. And it's Tucker. He's a character in Red vs. Blue, and he's pointing. He does like the Uncle Sam pose. It's like, Tucker wants you for the Blue Army. Well, I guess maybe if you're the only one available. It's really funny. I always wanted it, never was able to get it. But,
I like the shirt that you wore down.
and then I got a
on
Laser
plane.
Team poster, and it's hanging up in my room. No! I guess I can die now. I finished all my bounties.
All right, Colton, I have a question.
Okay.
What do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have a job?
Yeah.
You look like a man with a job.
over the
He's
summer.
made a job.
I worked for my dad as a welder, and I did weld, and then
Hardcore.
I drove his truck and stuff. And then at OSU, I work on the airplanes.
Okay.
there, so.
They have airplanes at OSU. I did not know that.
He's a blue-collar worker.
I was
Back
a
home.
professional pilot major, and I was learning to do different things flying wise.
Yeah.
And so I worked at the hangar that does all of the maintenance on the airplanes that OSU uses.
You said was. What happened?
I decided to switch to sports media.
How
Oh,
do you like
really?
that?
Cool.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm
he's just
considering
gonna be a
that.
guy with a pilot's license doing sports media.
very much. I still haven't completely given up the idea of becoming a pilot, but it's not necessary to have. It's only necessary to have a college degree.
So
Oh,
have you
interesting.
taken a lot of classes for sports media?
I haven't taken anything. I haven't taken.
He
I'm
changed it in the
going
summer.
in dry.
Because
Oh,
right now,
Lord. Bang honeys? I don't
I'm a declared physics, but I love sports and I've done a lot of media stuff at the church.
Yeah, I think you'd be really good at it, Corey.
So
Yeah,
I'm
and
really-
I am going into either film or production, so it seems like we can all be working.
I'm
together
heavily
someday.
considered switching majors to that. But
We could all work together one day and
Start
do
our
some
own-
broadcasting.
Start our own Rooster Teeth. Tomato Flame.
I'm actually. All right, this brings up a good point. However, I'm going to become a writer someday. Anyways, so
Okay.
Colton,
You could write all of our scripts.
I
This all works together.
already do that.
I think Kylan can act out our scripts. He's going to be an actor.
Yep, definitely.
we can do it together, Colin.
What does tomato flame mean?
This is a good question. I wanted to ask this too.
If you listen to our podcast, you would know.
I've only seen episode 5
Hey,
because the app sucks.
I know because I watched the podcast.
What app? Oh, wait, you have Podomatic app?
Yeah.
I forgot you're an Android user. It's a lot easier for you.
You could just
iPhone.
tweet the download link for Android and it would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
I found that. It took me a while.
I could do that. That's my fault. 'Cause I'm the social media guy, and I've been favoring the iTunes users heavily, and I should be tweeting the link for Podomatic, but I've been lazy, so I'm now going to step up my game.
Austin, so you're the social media guy. I have a
Yes.
question.
Okay.
Have you guys considered recording small bits of the podcast and making a tomato vine? Because I think that'd be very funny.
Wait, a what vine?
A tomato vine.
Oh, tomato vine.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually a good
We-
idea.
Yeah.
Took me a minute.
I'm playing Destiny while this is happening. I wasn't following. I assume that was a funny joke. 'Cause you
Oh.
guys all laughed.
Tomato vine? Cause
Yeah,
like,
tomato
So
like a-
making recording small bits of the podcast.
Oh,
and making,
tomato vine. Oh,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a pun. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. That's funny.
yeah, thank you. 420? Yeah. All right. So how many listeners does the podcast get? I've got a couple of questions I've been asking. I wanted to ask.
I think.
We get
Let me look. I took a picture.
average. We have like 30 or 40 per podcast on
Represent.
Podomatic. On iTunes, I don't think Colton
No,
knows how to
it's
check it.
download. People that have downloaded. We got like around 30 to 20 downloads of podcasts.
Really? That's
But-
actually not bad at all.
You
Yeah.
need to be able to check on iTunes as well, because that probably has the same
Well,
amount.
it still count.
right?
It counts the downloads from iTunes. I'm pretty sure.
But does it
No.
count streams?
No, no.
Interesting.
Oh.
I think it can.
Cause I don't
People
download it.
streaming on their
You
computer.
just stream it
Yeah.
through iTunes or through
Through Podomatic.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, I can start. I can look
We
into that.
have no idea. So it counts the iTunes downloads as well.
So more than
I
30.
think
Oh,
that's the only explanation.
That's disappointing. I was hoping it'd be like double. Because half people download Podomatic.
All right, Miguel. What was some of your other questions?
All right. So my other questions. I wanted to.
Thinking of question right now.
You put me on spot.
Thinking of a question right now.
Okay. So another question is: have you guys seen any movies recently?
Seen any
yeah.
movies. I saw Mission Impossible recently. That was the last one I saw.
I heard
That-
that was good.
That
It
movie
was
surprisingly.
a really good one. Like
was
it was
good.
one of the best Mission Impossibles, I think.
It has like a 90
I
on
think-
Rotten Tomatoes.
I think 3 and this one are the best ones. Honestly,
I-
they're both amazing.
3's the only one I haven't seen.
3's
Three's
good. Rest in peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh,
You were a great actor.
Rip.
But he played a really good part in that movie. He was the bad guy. Spoiler. I think you know that from the beginning, though.
Yeah,
But,
it's
yeah. I
It's-
think
I think it's good.
5 is as good as 3, and then it would go down from there. 5 was a really good movie, and the British girl in that was very pretty. And
I don't remember the
Colton
movie, but Colton
confirms.
seems like he knows it very well.
Yeah. But her and
When was the last
Tom
time you
Cruise
watched that
have a
movie?
little romance in there.
what?
When was the last time you watched that one?
I watched that Friday night.
Yeah, there's this guy in there. I gotta tell this story again. I already told it on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell it for you guys. So there's this guy in the movie. You've seen Mission Impossible 3, right?
no.
It's he's in most of them. The giant
okay,
black
he
guy.
wasn't in 4.
Oh,
The big
okay.
black guy named Luther.
I actually believe that he's dead.
He's in the 5th one.
Never mind. I'm thinking of the wrong big black guy.
No, that's the guy from Green Mile.
Yeah, that guy's dead.
That guy's dead.
Doesn't he make an appearance in 4 for like a couple? Like,
Yeah,
couple
very
I
end.
think so, yes.
Yeah, he's in there.
But he's in the 5th one for the whole movie, and he's like the computer guy, right?
Yeah, I know.
And they have this. I'm not going to spoil it. They have this British girl. They need. They are in a subway station.
Okay.
They're in a subway station, and Tom Cruise is sitting down with her, and then Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg, and Luther, the black guy, are all surrounding her because they need her to stay there, and then all of a sudden, something goes wrong, and then they have to leave, and then Tom Cruise says to Luther, he's like, Luther, make sure she doesn't get away. And he's like maybe 20 feet from her, and he's walking, and there's a big crowd, and he breaks through the crowd, and she's already gone, and then it like cuts to him catching up to the other guys. He's like, I lost her. I'm like, dang it, Luther, that was 10 seconds of screen time, and you lost her.
It was about 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, because I told the story, and then Colton watched the movie later, and then he counted it, the exact seconds. It was in between 6 and 7 seconds.
Speaking of seconds, I once watched a one-act performance of The Miracle Worker, which is the story of Helen Keller, and I sat there and I thought, how many minutes is it going to be before the first... There it was! If you're wondering, the answer was 47 seconds. So.
Oh my god! Was that movie just full of... just Helen Keller voices?
I felt bad for laughing at that play. It was... she was amazing! It was great, I'll admit it.
Well, I saw Mission Impossible 5.
Was it like it cuts between Helen Keller and Waterboy? Just
Half the crowd was probably laughing, the other half was probably like super offended and walked out.
Yeah, probably.
And then there's like one person that just didn't understand.
Shadow. What's this guy's game tag? Shadow
69 E-Birth.
Nice. I'm gonna.
Creative.
What is it?
Are you a friend him?
I'm gonna report him for having a sweet name. That's what I'm gonna do.
If there's a... Oh, sorry, Colton. You go.
I was just going to say, I watched Mission Impossible, and then the day before that, me and my sister went and saw the Minion movie. And so, basically the plot of the Minion movie is that the Minions become the new henchmen of Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock wants the crown, and then the Minions get crowned the King of England.
It sounds like The Blind Side.
Basically.
Oh my god.
Kind of. But and then basically the idea of Mission Impossible is that they save the British Empire from exposure of all this and whatnot. And you watch them take out the Prime Minister, and then you watch the Minions take out the Queen of England. And so, like, in back-to-back nights,
dude,
I watched the America's
just pooping all
destroy
over
the British Empire.
We need that America, like,
it was
intro
great.
from, like...
There goes our British audience.
Yeah, all one of them.
3 of them.
I don't think any. There's probably like no British audience out there. If there's any British listeners out there, I just want to give you a shout out. I love you. Love you all.
Tea and Crumpets at Austin's
Brothers
at 9.
from across the
Pond.
from across the Great Pond.
Miguel, so have you seen a movie to bring about that question that you want to talk about?
No, I have not. So I basically have gone to the movies every single weekend for the last like 7
There's
months.
so many movies I want to watch. What about that Hitman movie?
That movie looks I love the Hitman games. I was actually playing Hitman Absolution before I came over here.
Really? I have not played any Hitman games.
They're for sure worth playing. One of them was the Xbox game.
Wait. Do you have to use stealth?
Sometimes. You don't have to.
I can't play that game. If you're forced to use stealth, I will not play that game. That's my new rule. Okay?
Why?
That eliminates a lot of video games for you.
Hate stealth. If there's one mission of stealth, I can bear through it, maybe, if I really like the game. But I absolutely hate stealth. It's something I just cannot stand. Like, I was playing Far Cry 4, enjoying it, loved it. Stealth mission, couldn't beat it. Ended it. The thing is, my natural reaction is just running straight into battle. And you can't do that in some missions, and it screws me up. Like, I can't play Arkham Knight because stealth missions, there's a lot of stealth from what I understand, and that's not my wiring.
I bet you would hate Cabela's 2014. That game would suck to you.
Didn't play it, so.
Why did you play that game?
No, I've never played it. It's a deer hunting game, if you don't know.
Okay, 'cause I had no idea what you're talking about. I just know I hadn't played that game. No, also that's probably a terrible game.
Why would you buy a fishing game? You just sit there and just like, maybe I'll catch a pretend fish.
Yeah.
Like, the only good thing about fishing is like you get to eat it afterwards. So like the fishing game takes out all like the plus side.
Like Ron Swanson says.
Or you could just puke off the side of a boat while your friends catch the fish, and at the end of the day you eat it.
Yeah.
It's like what Ron Swanson says about fishing. He says, fishing for sport, not food, because fish is practically a vegetable.
I actually got into an argument with someone the other day about the fact that being a pescatarian is the exact same thing as being a normal person. You're just stupid.
I think normal people don't know what pescatarian is.
What is that?
A pescatarian is like a vegetarian, but they're allowed to eat fish. They're just regular people that just don't.
That's funny.
Not to offend any potential pescatarian listeners out there.
Yeah,
You guys just have poor choices.
You're just gonna chase off all of our listeners.
Or maybe the fish.
On
That
Instagram.
could also be. Yeah, that's pretty much my life is watching movies, though. I haven't gotten to see a movie. I wanted to see Southpaw because
I've heard this.
I do want to see that movie as well.
I
love watching movies.
huge Eminem fan. Like a big. I'm as big as the black guy in Mission Impossible 5 Eminem fan. That's me.
Wait, he's in that movie?
No, but he produced the movie. And
He produced the movie.
50 Cent is also in the movie.
50 Cent is in the movie, I know that. And the beautiful Jake Gyllenhaal, one of my man crushes, is in that movie.
Not to be confused with Manic
And,
Maggie Gyllenhaal, his
Oh,
disgusting
do not
sister.
confuse Maggie with Maggie Gyllenhaal. Maggie Gyllenhaal is disgusting. She's the worst person to ever
The
live.
worst part of The Dark Knight Rises. I want to point that out.
Yeah, I bet Heath
Here
Ledger.
is-
I bet Heath Ledger gagged like a full minute before he had to say that line. Hello, beautiful. You are beautiful. It was like he was lying straight through his teeth. I bet Maggie Gyllenhaal was like, "I'm sorry, you have to call me beautiful."
Weren't you talking about this on the last podcast?
Yes.
What, really?
Yeah.
I was talking about on the last week on the podcast. I was talking about how ugly Maggie Gyllenhaal is. I've been listening to a lot of Internet Box, and I'm like, man, they're right. Maggie Gyllenhaal is ugly. She's like a
Scare away
dog.
any Maggie Gyllenhaal fans.
She's the worst.
Alright, so since we're on the topic of just super gross female actress.
Actri?
Yeah.
That the plural form of actress is now actri.
Yeah, so all these female actri. Alright, who top 5 list, who are the hottest female actresses?
Oh, you went opposite route.
We're doing ugly.
Keira Knightley, for sure. She's
Keira
my
is
number
on there.
one.
Emma
Really?
Stone.
Emma Stone's well, okay, she's number 2.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson's my number 1.
It was a
Yours
pretty
is
good
Emma.
name.
What about that other Emma? What's the Emma from We're the Millers? There's
I don't
another
know.
Emma. I know that. and I forget her last name.
Alright, and it's gonna sound weird, but the other 3 spots are taken up by super old chicks on my top. So Tina Fey, she's
Tina Fey's
my
not super old.
Tina Fey. I'd be all
about
I'd climb her like a bonsai tree. I really
What
would.
about? Are you an Office? Are you an Office
PG
fan?
I'm not really an Office fan.
Okay.
I just haven't seen enough of it.
Evan was trying to get him to watch it the whole.
At like 3 in the morning. I'm not gonna watch Office at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, me and Evan both stay up till like 3 in the morning every night. It's
I made a mistake.
really bad.
I stood up
Evan
till
is
like
Austin's brother.
I stood up till like 6 in
Yes.
the morning.
I don't
One day.
know if I've ever told the podcast that he's my brother.
Evan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've just either said Evan or my brother, and so they don't know. Evan is my brother. If I ever bring
There
up
we go.
Evan,
There we go.
that's crisis averted. But
Yeah.
what were we talking about before? Oh, hot actresses. Okay, I got this.
Jennifer Aniston's also on mine.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
That's the typical celebrity crush.
No, I think it's the typical hot old chick. Right there with Betty White.
Yeah, but she doesn't even count as old because she doesn't even look old.
I know she.
Why are you freaking out?
Yeah, she's
What
too
if
much.
she was in the room? How much would you freak out? Okay, but
Back to the Helen Keller
But Jennifer Aniston and Bernie Burns in one room, what happens?
They both walk out because I would have peed and pooped myself.
And it smells
They're
really
like,
bad.
man, it smells really bad.
Why are you guys leaving? But that's
I have 3. I have my top 3 female celebrity crushes, and now that I'm on the spot, I forgot the other 2. Number 1 is definitely Keira Knightley. She's the most beautiful woman ever to live, and I forgot the other 2, but I really appreciate them.
okay. I feel like we can turn the tables now and talk about our man crushes. My
Man
number
crushes.
1 is for sure Michael Bublé, the hottest
Jake
man.
Gyllenhaal is my number 1. I've already
Chris Pratt.
said that.
Chris Pratt's a good one.
Yeah, Colin's in love with Chris Pratt.
He's amazing in every way. I've been rewatching Parks and Rec, and he's just so funny.
You need to watch The Office before you rewatch Parks and Rec. What is wrong with you?
I'm working on it.
All right, hold on, wait. You might have to cut this next story out. But so we recently went on vacation with Corey, who's also part of the podcast,
Hey.
myself, Kylan's here too. We were all partook in the vacation, and Evan,
Partook.
Austin's brother. So we're down there, right? And Austin's mom's name is Misha, right? And so one night it's like maybe like 12:30, and she goes into the fridge and she pulls out peanut butter and chocolate chips. And I'm like, that's interesting. And then she pours a little bit of peanut butter and a little bit of chocolate chips into this little bitty cup. And I'm like, all right. And so she puts it in the microwave.
And eats it.
And she eats it.
Yeah.
And she goes, sorry, Miguel. As she's like spooning it into her mouth after it's out of the microwave. This is my little fetish. And I go, whoa, what? What? And she's like, why are you laughing so hard, Miguel? And I said, what do you mean by that? She's like, I'm just my little fetish. And so I am dying of laughter. And then I'm like, do you mean like my little like guilty pleasure?
See, I've sunken myself too far into, why does this guy keep spawning? I've sunken myself too far into, this show called Rescue Me. Super sad show.
Really? What's it about?
It's about a firefighter in New York. It's about 9/11 and people keep dying. And it's super sad. It started out pretty well and just everybody keeps dying. It's depressing, but I'm into season 4, and there's 7 seasons. I'm already halfway done. I mean, I have to finish it, even if it ends terribly.
Isn't it about... Oh, so the whole thing's not 9/11. I'm like,
No,
how are there 7 seasons about 9/11?
No, it's post 9/11.
Okay, post.
9/11 just happened when the show started, a year ago, and then now it's now it's 4 years after, since 4 seasons into it. So, but yeah, people keep dying all the time, and it's terrible. Sons of Anarchy was different because a person dies each episode, but it's not a character you're close to. Every half season, one character that you've come known to love is dead.
Oh,
it's why does this happen? And but I have to finish it. I have to see if it ends good. Probably it does. It probably is going to end really bad. I kind of predict.
They just want to kill off everybody.
But
I
think
actually
going to do that.
I've been waiting for Game of Thrones to finish. Because I'm excited to watch it, but I want to read the books first, just bide my time while the series is coming to a close. I think it'll be over the next 2 seasons or so. But
Game of Thrones just started to go off the books though. They're not doing books anymore.
I know. I highly doubt though that once George R.R. Martin dies, they're gonna.
Well, I mean, they're no longer using books anymore, so they're just
gonna keep going.
But he's still writing with the show though.
Oh, did you guys hear
they're
about?
Totally spreading
Did you guys hear about
But he's still
Walking
writing
Dead?
for them.
What
Season 7's gonna be filmed in Guthrie.
Guthrie, Oklahoma, really?
Yeah. Oh.
We could probably be extras in it
We
then.
could be extras in it, and once they start filming seasons, before they start filming season 7, I'm going to try to apply to be a extra. I want to be in an episode as a walker.
If we
that would
figure
be
out,
my dream come
if we
true.
figure out when and where it is, we can fly over the set.
Whoa, dude, that'd be crazy,
That's
Colton.
amazing.
You probably could have because they ruined the shoot. Zombie apocalypse. Plane.
Unless you crash the plane.
We'll have to put something over the tail number so that way they can't see it.
They're probably a no restrictions. They're probably gonna be okay, no one come over.
They
thinking about
just start improving a plane.
Yeah.
What?
You're like the big
I
plot.
completely alter a whole season.
I wonder if that's what happened in the first scene of Interstellar, because that was totally out of nowhere.
What happened in the first?
In Interstellar, they're totally just casually driving home. It's whoa, look, a drone! We gotta catch that drone for no reason.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So if somebody's just flying the drone over, Matthew Guy is all right, shoot this thing down. This guy keeps spawning.
They probably keep it if you crash the plane.
Yeah.
You die for it.
It's
for the glory.
It'd be worth it.
I'm gonna be in the show.
Ugh.
Just
They CG a zombie jumping 3,000 feet in the air. How high does a plane fly, Colton?
My dad's plane will go up to almost 8,000 feet.
All right.
Wow.
As a pilot, I've seen movies with pilots in them, and they are picking up honeys left and right, Colton.
I don't.
Why?
Okay, if you've listened to this, you know
Have
the
you,
game.
have you
we
heard
play,
the...
right?
Yes.
Colton's awkward situations with girls.
All right, I've only
man.
heard one. And what was your
Yeah, we do it
Aspen?
every time.
Is it okay to bring her up?
Yeah, it's okay to be her. There's no way she listens to this.
Oh,
Well, it would be famous
Tweet
if she
at-
listens to this. She's gonna be like, I didn't know Colton wanted to kiss me.
yeah. Whoa, is that true, Colton?
That's a different story.
Oh,
Have
that's
you
a
heard-
different. That was a different story with Aspen.
Same Aspen. I don't remember what was the Aspen story that you heard.
I heard the one where she invited you to go to B-Dubs, like Buffalo Wild
Oh
Wings.
yeah.
All right, what's the problem here, Colton? Why can't you seal the deal? You gun shy?
Because
You're afraid your fire blanks? Cut that
he
part
gives
out.
up on everything.
Dang it, Miguel.
Colton.
So much.
Miguel, you gotta think before you talk.
Just don't
You're
cut
giving Colton
anything
such a
out.
hard job, right?
Yeah, this podcast is gonna go from like an hour to 30 minutes.
We're at
you know?
50 minutes right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
The real question
We
is...
haven't even talked very much about RTX.
This
We do need to
podcast
go
is
back
either
to
going
it.
to be the longest one or the shortest one.
This is the longest one so far.
Well, we still got a lot to talk about. So,
Wow, RTX?
yeah,
What else- what did you want
There's
to talk
so much
about?
to.
I wanna hear more
I
too.
didn't keep track in my phone about what I was going to talk about in particular, but I have so much stuff to talk about. I got to think about it. Okay.
Well, because I wanted to tell Miguel I have another awkward situation.
Let's
yeah,
do
go
it.
ahead- Go ahead
Let's
with
do
that.
it.
I'm going to
Yeah.
think.
All right, I think Miguel's gonna be really good at this for some reason. All right, hang on. Let me try to remember.
He's going to
Okay.
do a Claire style explanation.
Yeah,
Or
that's
just
I'm hoping he does. Okay, so
Yeah,
me
that was
and this
great.
girl went flying, and on the way back home, because the plane is hangar down in Chickasha, and so it's about a 30-minute drive coming back home. We're coming back home, and this girl asked me, she goes, "So, how's your like dating life going?"
Wow.
Well, it really wasn't specific. It was like a specific because I had just stopped seeing this girl or whatever.
Okay.
And she asked, "Well, how's that going? Why did you end it off?" I said, "Oh, okay." And I had told her what happened. And then I flipped the table on her. I was like, "So, what about you? Any dating or anything?" And she goes, "Well," and she told a story.
Okay.
And I think I just screwed this up. But what did she say after that?
Well, honestly, I think the first problem is you flipped the table on her. What are you doing to me?
Well, she goes on and on and on about how she has her boyfriend, how her relationship's going super great, and then you're like, oh,
Oh.
well, I plan on asking you out.
Wait.
I'll let Miguel formulate what he thinks is going to happen. What do you think?
All right, Colton. So you are flying.
Wait. I was going to let Corey answer, and then you'd be the last answer, so that give you some time to think it through.
Okay.
Because I expect a good answer from you. Did you have a question about the story?
No. Well, how high were you flying at this time?
Oh, we weren't flying. We were driving back. From
Oh,
flying.
okay.
Oh,
So you can
Oh,
like throw out the plane.
Even worse.
Yeah.
you just throw her out of the car.
What's the question? What's her response to like?
Yeah,
how
I asked her, I turned the tables on her, and I
She's
was
probably
like,
just not interested in seeing anybody. She's probably just like, oh, I'm just fine with how I am right now. Probably just like super awkward because you were like
She's
trying
like,
to go
"I'm
in,
not
but then
going
she's just
out
like,
with
oh yeah,
you."
no, I'm just friends with everybody. I'm not interested in anything.
Here's how I think it is. I think it's like whenever you go to like McDonald's or something and they mess up your order, and so you like she's presenting the order and you get there, you're like, oh yeah, oh wait, there's onions on this. Can you make this again? And that you are the server though. It's like no. So what happened is
I'm lost.
all right. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
thought I knew what you're talking about, then I didn't, and then I thought I knew, and then I didn't.
All right.
So,
Cut that whole bit out
That
again.
was a really bad one.
Yeah, that was.
All right. Anyways, so
Ooh.
I'm thinking that. So she asked that casually, like as like a friend, you know, like, oh, maybe I should just check up on him, or maybe even more than that. She's like, man, I'm planning on ending this relationship soon, and he's a fine hunk of meat. I'd be down for, going out. I don't know, but
I see you're thinking now.
all right. So what happened?
She told a story about how she lied about having a boyfriend.
Oh.
She said that she worked as a nurse in this place, and a male doctor that she thought was cute talked to her and he's like, so do you have a boyfriend? And she was like half listening and said yes.
Oh.
And so she formulated and made up this fake boyfriend. That was the story she told
Wow.
me.
Oh.
It wasn't really a
So are you guys dating now?
no.
What?
Do I know this person?
Yeah, I'll tell it to you who it is after the podcast.
Oh,
A nurse. I
Might
don't
they
know
be
very many
listening, or-
nurses.
Huh?
are they listening or?
I don't think so.
Shout outs to this random lady.
You know, recently the male nurse
Shout out to random
industry has
girl that I
increased.
know.
Yeah, a little bit. I really want to see a male nurse in the Candy Striper.
Okay, so Colton, I need to know what the real problem is though. Like, why don't you just ask her?
I don't know. I've known her for a long time. I just felt scared, I guess.
Colton.
Colton's gonna
I
be
mean,
all,
this Mike
all
only
night.
picks up
Gosh.
people mowing their lawn from
Yeah, like, we picked up a guy mowing the yard like 2 doors down.
There was a guy across the street that waved at me while I was walking in.
Yeah. Was he good looking?
No, he was old.
Did you ask him out?
Speaking of guys across
Actually,
the
he asked
street.
him out.
Speaking of guys across the street, at my house, I live across a very old man with a huge pot belly, and he always
That's not
mows
what I thought you were gonna say.
huge pot farm. But anyways, so
Also not what
I thought that's where you guys were going with that. Pot belly, pot farm. I thought.
Anyway.
So, anyways, he mows his lawn constantly with his shirt off. And recently, I thought he hasn't been mowing his lawn in a while. And so I go over to his house, and his like son and his daughter are in there, and I go, "Excuse me, what happened to the man who used to live in here?" And they go, "Oh,
He died, didn't
he died."
Oh,
and I
that's
brought
really
it up.
sad.
Apparently, it was like a month and a half ago, but they
Oh,
were
man.
finally cleaning stuff
You're
out.
so mean. You're like, hey,
God.
little kids, where's your dead dad?
Yeah.
That's
No,
terrible.
they were grown adults. He's like a 70-year-old man. But
Oh, okay, whatever.
That's still
Walking to
really
like a
weird.
3-year-old, though, I'm like, your dad's dead.
they were really offended though, and they wouldn't answer me why he was dead. But
Wait, you keep pestering? Oh, you're dead? How you died?
yeah.
Like pull out a notebook. Like, tell me how did you?
Yeah.
you start tuning up. Was it while he was mowing the lawn?
Was it slow and painful?
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord, you ruined my joke, Dexter. I was gonna say that's how he would have liked to die, mowing the lawn though. So,
Not slow.
yeah.
Slow and painful while mowing the lawn. What if it was like age? What if you just like ran himself over with a lawnmower?
Yeah, his wife left him years ago though, so
Oh.
the story has a good ending.
So there was nothing else to live for.
Yeah, that was
That
dark.
wasn't the fairy tale ending we all want.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys, we're at an hour, so we really need to wrap this up. Thanks everybody for listening. I'd let Miguel and Corey and Colin plug in their Twitters.
All right, I'm at Miguel Dooley, MiguelDooley.
There you go.
Matt Corey Widener, good luck.
You're not even gonna try to
Nope.
You want to plug in some social media, Kylan?
I
Well,
don't know what
Kylan-
mine is, so,
Okay.
and I never tweet, so
We recently performed at
Fact
Fine
is-
Arts, and they called him Clean Wiener, and so that's a,
Seriously?
it was just a very funny mispronunciation.
it
mispronunciation.
was Kalan Wiedner, but it sounded like Clean Wiener. Yeah.
So that's his new Twitter.
If fine
handle,
arts is a
everybody.
religious
You need
thing.
to make it clean wiener.
Okay, so I am just at Kylan Widener at KailanWeidner.
And
There
if
you
you want
go.
to follow Corey, it's same last name.
Same last name.
Yeah.
It's
If you don't
quite
know
a
how to spell-
coincidence.
If you don't know how to spell Corey the right way,
And-
then you're doomed.
And everybody, please go follow Tomato Flame, the Tomato Flame Twitter account. We need a lot of followers, and be interactive with us. We'd like to hear your feedback. Thanks
And
everybody for listening.
Wait. I have to plug mine,
Okay.
even though I plugged it every other podcast. It's at GrayWolf_5, Gray with an A. Please follow. Right after you follow Tomato Flame. You can't follow me unless you follow Tomato Flame.
And you have to tweet a picture with the tomato.
The
of
screenshot of you following Tomato Flame.
You. Right.
Yes, I'm that serious about it. Or I will block you.
Go ahead and follow me.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for listening, and see you next week.